Hello and welcome to Cheshire Audio. Now then, I'm doing this a bit differently, and I want some sympathy in the comments for this. I've got a trapped nerve in my neck, and if I sit down in a chair at the moment, the pain down my arm is building and building, but I can't handle it. So I'm sort of pacing about at the moment. What I wanted to talk about, and this has been sort of kicked off by a couple of things that have happened in the past few days actually, is hearing loss and your hearing in sort of relative to your hi-fi system. The first thing was that there was a chap, one of the other YouTube channels, which I don't tend to watch hi-fi YouTube channels. People are quite shocked when I say that to them, but I don't really. I'm not really drawn to them particularly. I was sort of basically scrolling through trying to find something or other on YouTube, and this thing popped up, which was I can't think. It's so terrible. I can't think who it was. One of the better known YouTubers, hi-fi wise, but he was saying, unless you got perfect hearing, you're wasting your money buying decent hi-fi. I really don't agree with that, and I think that's kind of misunderstanding how the whole concept of hi-fi. Like, it's not just about frequency response, the rhythm and timing, and all these things I go on about. Most of that isn't really affected by your hearing, surprisingly. And I've got customers who are sort of deaf in one ear and okay in the other, and I've got a customer he calls it tinnitus. I don't think he's got tinnitus. He used to be a DJ, and one of his ears distorts at certain frequencies. And interestingly, as he's upgraded his hi-fi system, he's saying it's less of a problem because the clearer signal doesn't set it off anymore. And I've said to a few people come in the shop and they say, well, I'm buying myself a retirement present, but I'm not going to go too mad with it because, well, my hearing's going now and I won't be able to appreciate it. So, well, actually, in some respects, if your top end is going, you almost need something better to compensate, something cleaner and more precise, so you can hear what's going on up there. So you can sort of argue the case, really, you can sort of argue it either way, really. Yeah, okay, perhaps what it might be is, everything's relative. I think a lot of it is to do with you're used to a certain presentation of sound, and the hi-fi system will be affected by that, but it's all relative. Better is always better. And perhaps you might argue that the actual improvement you get value for money-wise isn't as good, but you still get an improvement. So, I don't know, it's probably down to the individual, I suppose, in a way. But the one that really hit home with me, and I just want part of the reason I'm doing this video is because of what happened. I was going to say yesterday, it wasn't yesterday, it was the day before yesterday. My postman, you wonder where I'm going with this. My postman, Tim, is profoundly deaf. Totally deaf, no hearing whatsoever, and hence no speech, really. He makes the odd noise and that sort of thing, but no hearing aids, no nothing. So he's got no hearing. And he came into the shop the other day, and quite often we have a chat, and he's really funny. He's one of these people who, he just makes himself understood because that's what he's always had to do. And he came and he picked some parcels up from me, and he was heading to the door, and he puts them down, and he stands and looks at the hi-fi system that's playing, and walked across and put his hand on the speaker and stepped back and went, and kept doing it. And then he realised I was watching him, and he looked at me, and he went, so when I was younger, we had a radiogram with a stacking record player, and he put his hand as though he's putting his hand on it, and he went, and pointed to the hi-fi system that's playing, and put his hand on, went. And then he put his hand on again. He was sort of going, like that, sort of shaking his head as though this is amazing. Now, he hasn't got any hearing. He hasn't got any hearing whatsoever. While he was in there, he's got a sort of pager device that I don't know what it is actually, but there was some pager device on there that went off when he was in the shop, and it was dominating in the room. It was really loud, and he didn't know it was going off. And I had to point to it like that, and he's, oh yeah, so not having perfect hearing, I don't know. I don't agree that it's not worth getting decent. I know I'm biased because here's me trying to sell hi-fi, but I think it needs thinking through a little bit more than that. You can't just completely say there's no point, you're wasting your money. because it's all relative. I think people will get more from, you know, as you improve, whatever your hearing state is, you will get more from it. You really will. Even if at Tim's level, okay, he's not going to spend £20,000 on an Hi-Fi system just to get but he's feeling his way of sort of relating with a music system is the touch. He can feel the rhythm more clearly through. I mean, okay, he might have been being nice to me, but the way he was, and look on his face, it wasn't him just sort of saying, "You sell good stuff." It was, "This is really great. I've never experienced anything like this," which I thought was lovely, really lovely. I mean, he is such a nice guy. But anyway, that's enough about Tim. I could go on all day about Tim, to be honest. A bit of a local hero. So anyway, that's the end of this video. It's just really, really quick. Yeah, don't think I'm losing the top end of my hearing, there's no point in me having a Hi-Fi system. You will hear the benefits, and in some ways, like I say, it's more beneficial if you are sort of experienced a certain amount of hearing loss, to be able to hear the clarity at the top end. So it's a bit like people with these flat screen TVs and they couldn't hear the speech. You know, buying a better speaker to clarify things. That clarity it's the same. It's kind of the same analogy, really. It's sort of increase your clarity, increase the definition, increase the rhythm and timing, because the rhythm and timing is there, even if you just have to touch the speaker to sense it. So yeah, I'll end it there. just sort of putting it out there for people to sort of chat about and you know, in comments. Obviously, I don't go to comment because of the odd one who's, you know, likes to be angry on there. But be interesting, just, you know, have a chat amongst yourselves about it, and email me if you want. Let me know what you think about that. So anyway, don't forget to give a like and subscribe, and I will see you in a future video. Probably still with hurty arm, because it's an ongoing thing, this. So yeah, getting old. See you soon.